Hey everybody, this is your Disney Remixed full body strength workout. In terms of equipment today, you will need one heavier weight and one medium weight. So think something for your upper body and then something for your lower body. And we are doing all of this work today set to your favorite Disney tunes, but workout style. So let's jump right on into that workout. We're gonna start our warm up down on the mat, hands underneath the armpits, toes are tucked or untucked, and we're gonna drop one vertebrae at a time down toward the mat. And then exhale, press the floor away, rounding through that spine. We'll take a few more cycles here, just warming up the back. And really take this slow and specific. Yeah, slow and specific is gonna be kind of the theme of many of our movements today. Let's go for one more. Perfect. Let's come down, find our neutral spine, tuck the toes under, and I'm gonna give you two options here. Either stay in this position or lift your knees up an inch. From here, we're gonna go for a beast pose. So we sit the booty back toward the heels, and then exhale, bring it back forward. We're gonna do that 4 more times. So again, knees are down or up. So big inhale, keep that back flat. Exhale, come forward. 3 more. Good, last 2. Last 1. Perfect, drop the knees down, bring it all the way up. We'll bring right leg up, left leg is behind, make sure your toes are tucked under, hands on the hips, and we'll shift into that leg, big hip and ankle stretch, and up. Good, make sure that heel stays down. We'll do 3 more on this side. Inhale over. Exhale up. Yep, square those hips and shoulders off to the front. Last one here. And switch sides. So leg comes back, opposite leg out, tuck the toes, and we'll shift it forward or diagonal and up. Good, last 2. Last one. Perfect, we'll flip it over onto the back. Going for a good old-fashioned bridge, but I want you to bring your arms up above your chest. Let's make some fists, feet on the floor. Inhale, exhale, press the hips up. Good, we're gonna go for about 10 here. We'll take a little hold at the top. As you're pressing, I want you to feel your feet on the ground. Can you press through your heel, your big toe, your pinky, so that full triangle of support down there. Make sure the knees don't start to open to the side. So you've got like an imaginary yoga block between your thighs. Let's do 2 more. Last one, we'll hold it up. Good. So squeeze that $100 bill between your butt cheeks, yoga block between your thighs, plant that triangle of support on the ground. We're here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down, bring your legs up to tabletop. Elbows are wide, lift up the head with your shoulders. Keep your knees in line with your hips as we twist, right elbow to the left knee, and then switch. Just going for 10 here, nice and controlled. So keep that low back down, and again, knees do not come in past those hips. Let's go 2 more on each side. Last ones. And let it go. All right, that's our warm up. So take a second if you need anything else. Otherwise, we're gonna jump up for a little EMOM circuit. So we're gonna get it started with a little EMOM circuit. So EMOM stands for every minute on the minute, and we're gonna do one exercise, 4 different sets, okay? So we're gonna start at one side of our space, and I've got this stagger stance. From here, I'm gonna send the hips back, and imagine I'm pinching the floor between my heel and my toe. So instead of just sitting down here, I wanna really get those muscles activated. So you should feel your glute and hamstring, maybe a little inner thigh start to ignite. From here, we're gonna take a small hop to the side, squeeze the floor, okay? We're gonna do that 8 times back and forth, and then whatever you have left in your minute is rest. We're doing this 4 times through to really get this posterior chain moving, all right? Let's do it. So we put 1 minute on the clock, find that starting stance, 8 reps in 3, 2, and 1. So pinch the floor. Make sure you can feel hamstring, glute, maybe some inner thigh. Then you move. There's a reason we're only doing 8 here. We're not moving that quickly. So this is all still part of our activation. Once you hit 8, the rest of your time is rest. All right, I'm done my 8. If you're with me, you're taking a break. We got 30 seconds. So, again, kind of the name of the game is, all right, do I feel my glute? No. Can I sit back a little bit more? Okay, do I feel my hamstring? No. Maybe pull my hips up a little bit more. Can I get my inner thigh on? Maybe I pinch those inner thighs together a little bit more. Again, there's a reason we're only doing 8, okay? You got 10 seconds. We're doing this 3 more times. Simple. So find that starting stance. Send those hips back. Get your hamstring, glute, inner thigh. Once you feel it, start it up. Again, we're not jumping 4, right? Ooh, lost it. Once you're done your 8, you take your rest. Now, other things to think about. Your footwear. Are you wearing shoes? I'm wearing shoes because it looks more professional, right? If I were really doing this by myself, and I know I talk about this all the time, I would actually take my sneakers off because I'm gonna have better connection to the floor. So if you are wearing shoes and you're having trouble feeling your glutes, hamstrings, inner thighs, take your shoes off, okay? Do this in barefoot or socks. You got 10 seconds. This is round 3 of 4. So let's find our starting stance. Pinch the floor front to back and into the center. Let's go for it. Once you're done, you get to rest. You've got about 30 seconds here. Last thing I want you to pay attention to is your breath. You can hear my very obnoxious "s" on my exhale, okay? That's on purpose because I'm trying to get my core engaged. So if you do not feel stable and maybe you're starting to fall every single time you do this, I want you to get your core engaged right at the top. So to do that, you'll take a big inhale. On the exhale, pull your ribs down toward your belly button. You should feel your abdominals on, okay? Let's get our last round going. Hold that abdominal tension. You have 1 minute to get these done. Amazing. Once you are done, your last 8, I'm gonna start to talk about our strength work, okay? But you still have like 30 more seconds to get that done. So, strength work today, the bulk of our workout. We are doing 2 supersets. First superset is all unilateral work. Actually, both of them are. So we're gonna start with a Bulgarian split squat. I'll show you a few different weight and exercise options. We start with one leg in front, opposite leg, toes are untucked on our bench or chair. We're gonna pick the hips up. From here, we squat it back and up. Notice that I'm kind of moving on a diagonal, right? So escalator rather than elevator. Now, if you're using 2 medium weights, you can hold 1 on each side. If you don't feel comfortable with the elevation, you can do this right on the floor. All right, split squat from the floor instead. Once we're done our split squat, you're gonna grab your lighter weight, sit down on your chair or bench, and we're gonna go for some seated overhead presses. All right, our rep range, we're doing 8 on each side. You have 60 seconds to get through those 8 reps each side. So 60 seconds on the right, 60 seconds on the left, rinse, repeat for the upper body. And we're doing this 3 times through. Let's go for it. In 3, in 2, and 1. So, toes are untucked. I'm gonna pick my hips up so I'm on this diagonal line. We inhale down, exhale to stand. Again, I'm using one of my heavier weights. If you're not super comfortable with this yet, you can always try the first round body weight. You can also use your medium weights down by your sides. You're just going to 8, and remember, like we talked about in our warm-up, slow and controlled, or slow and specific, I think I said. You're at that halfway point. Once you're done 8, step it forward. Use the rest of your time as rest. Whew. We're gonna go right to the other side, then we'll do our overhead work, okay? So, check in on that first round. How'd they feel? Do we need to go up and wait, down and wait? Do we need to take it to the floor? This is a good chance to reconnect, okay? We got 5 seconds, so get yourself set up, and let's go for it. 8 reps in your own time.
Some distance makes everything seem small, and the fears that once controlled me can't get to me at all. It's time to see what I can do to test the limits and break through. No right, no.
Whew. Once you're done with your 8, we're gonna take a seat, go right into those presses in 30 seconds, okay? Now, if you absolutely have nowhere to sit, you can just do this standing. All right, totally a great option. And let's start with whatever arm is not dominant. So for most people, it's gonna be the side that you don't write with. So for me, my left arm. All right, less than 10 seconds. Rack that weight on the shoulder. Get your core connected. Find your sits bones. Let's go, 8 overhead presses.
Cold never bothered me anyway.
All right, and breathe. We're gonna go to the other side in just a moment. Let's look at form really quickly. As we're here, elbow's gonna start in. As we come up, twist the palm out, bring it down. I went bicep up by that ear without lifting through the ribs. So keep thinking, pull those ribs down, okay? Whoo! Catch your breath here. I think round 2, we're gonna do 8 and 8 in our 60 seconds. I think that's gonna be good. But we got 10 seconds here. So rack that weight, find your sits bones, pull the ribs down. It's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Press and down, 8 reps.
And one thought crystallizes like an icy blast. I'm never going back. The past is in the past.
If you're with me, that is 8. We're gonna take the rest of this minute, finish out your reps, grab a quick sip of water, and then we're gonna come back, do that all 2 more times. All right, round 2 of 3. So let's get set up for that Bulgarian. We've got right leg forward, left leg back. In 3, 2, and 1. So take your time with your setup. Remember, we're only doing 8 reps. So I would rather you get an 8 really quality reps than go through them super quickly and then just have like a ton of extra rest time. If you're with me, we've got 1 more. Amazing. 30 seconds left. Take your rest time once you're done your reps. Let your heart rate come back down. This one definitely takes a lot more energy than our pressing. Whew. All right, switching it up. Left leg is forward, right leg is back. Get your core connected at the top. Pull the ribs down. Grab your weight, start it up when you're ready.
When you wish upon a star.
Watch your tempo on the way down. I want you to really fight gravity here. So instead of just dropping, resist it. Whew. Once you're done your reps, have a seat. So we're gonna go for those overhead presses again. Check in here. Can you go a little heavier? If you don't feel like fatigue, like a 6 to 8 out of 10 intensity by your 8th rep, you've got some options. Maybe you do a few more reps, right? Maybe you go a little heavier in your weight. Maybe you slow down. Lots of ways to make this more challenging, okay? So find your sits bones, stack that spine, 8 on each side. You only have 60 seconds to do it. Once you hit 8 on one side, switch that weight right to the other. Wow, this arm is very tired from whatever the heck I did yesterday. Good to know. If you're with me, last one. Woo! All right. We got about 20 seconds till we use this all one more time. So finish out your reps. We're starting with the right foot forward, left leg is back. A little quicker tempo this last round. Here we go. Get yourself set up, get your core engaged, grab your weight, and go for it. 8 reps. All right, banged those out. 30 seconds. Finish out your reps, catch your breath, take your rest time. So as we're in our last set of this, I want you to think about those lateral jumps we did side to side. How can you get the same sensation gripping the floor, finding that glute, hamstring, inner thigh stabilization for all of this, okay? We've got about 5 seconds. So let's set up. That's the wrong side, amazing, let's go for it. Left leg should be forward. It's going well. Make sure you're driving through your front foot to stand. All right, done with those. Take a seat once you're done. We got last round, overhead presses, starting with your non-dominant side. So for most of us, that's gonna be our left. Let your heart rate come down, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Grab that weight, let's do it. We start it up in 3, 2, and 1. Once you're done your 8, you switch right to the other side. Again, bicep by the ear, keep that neutral spine. Finish out your last reps. Woo! All right, once you're done, give those arms a little love. We'll finish out our minute here. And then we're gonna take 1 minute just to rest, recover before we go into our second and final superset, okay? So grab a sip of water and then we will meet back.
Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything? But I want more. Ready to know what the people know. Ask them my questions and get some answers.
right, y'all, so second superset here. 2 more exercises, unilateral work, let's talk about it. We're gonna come into an offset reverse lunge. So, weight is on one side. Whatever side you have your weight racked on, that leg is gonna move. So we're gonna step it back, reverse lunge, tap it at the top. Reverse lunge, tap it at the top. If that's a little too difficult with the weight on the shoulder, you can hold your heavy weight low, or you can do your medium weights high or low. So either option there. After that, we're coming into a single arm bench over row. You can do your medium or heavier weight depending on your strength, but I want you to use your chair or bench if you have one. So, hand is on the bench. You're gonna step your leg back, weight goes in that hand. Press the bench away, we're rowing up and down, okay? Same format. We're gonna do 60 seconds on each side for our reverse lunges to get our 8 reps, and then we'll do right back to back in our 60 seconds, 8 on each side for our rows, because I think that's gonna work out time-wise. So let's go for our first round, all right? Grab your heavier weight if that's what you're using. Let's start left leg in the front, right leg is moving, so right arm has that weight. 60 seconds to get in 8 reps. Let's go in 3, 2, and 1. So, inhale down, exhale to tap. As we come back, I want you to think of pulling your hips back to get a big stretch on the glutes, and that knee stays back in line with the ankle. So what we're trying to stay away from is this, right? Shift from the hips. Once you hit 8, you take your rest. And if you're wearing a Fitbit or an Apple Watch and you're using a kettlebell, please flip it around now so you don't destroy it. All right, 20 seconds to get to our other side and get the logistics of a backwards Fitbit on our wrist. Amazing. All right, 10 seconds, let's rack it up. And same thing. We step it back, left leg in 3, 2, and 1. Inhale back, exhale to stand. Now as you're going through this, a few things. Let's look at our racked position, dumbbell or kettlebell. Make sure we're not holding the weight out here. Bring it in toward your chest, and that elbow locks in so we can get that lat involved, okay? Once you hit your 8 reps, you take your break, catch your breath. I'm gonna do one more, because I almost fell out of that one. Whew. All right, 30 seconds. I'm sweating. Let's do it. So, medium or heavy weight. Let's make our way over to our chair bench. I will say this is very low for me for this, but we're gonna make it work. You can also, if you absolutely don't have a chair or bench, do this with a split stance. I just find it's a little easier with more support, okay? So, we'll start with our non-dominant side. Let's go for it. Press your chest open, swing that elbow back. Remember with our rows, we're aiming for a nice open angle rather than up to the armpit. And once you finish your 8 on one side, you're gonna switch right to the other.
It's nice to see that humans never change. Open your eyes, let's begin. Yes, it's really me, it's Maui, breathe it in. I know it's a lot, the head, the bod. When you're staring at a demigod. Ha!
All right, we got about 20 seconds before we go back into that first side, okay? So bring your hands on your knees, catch your breath, shake it out once you're done. And this is a good chance to reassess. What weights did you use? Did it feel like a 6 to 8 out of 10 intensity by the end, all right? Let's do it. We're going into our second set. Let's go for it. 60 seconds on the clock, 8 reps in 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Big inhale back. Exhale to stand. Now, same thing here. Can you use that EMOM circuit from earlier and grip the floor? Once you hit 8 reps, whew, take your breath, take your break, and relax. So before we go to the other side, I want to talk about the importance of this rest time, okay? A lot of times you'll see just go, 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 circuit, circuit, circuit. And that's just simply not what we're working for today, right? We're working for strength. The only way to build strength is if you have the energy to actually lift heavy enough. And you need that energy by taking rest. So don't think you gotta do burpees or jumping jacks in between our sets, okay? 5 seconds. Let's go into the other side. 8 reps whenever you're ready. All right, about 30 seconds left. So let that heart rate come down in whatever way you need it to. I like hands on the knees, like an athlete. You've also got a lovely seat on the side of your screen right there, so you can always sit down too. All right, so for the rows, again, it's not about getting that elbow up super high. Elbow only needs to come in line with your torso, all right? That's all we need for that shoulder extension. Let's go for it. 8 reps in your own time. Once you finish your 8, you're going right to the other side. It's plenty of time, but just keep in mind as you're gauging this, how quickly you do need to move. Whew. All right, 25 seconds. We're gonna go right into that last set, okay? So take as much time as you need. Reverse lunges on deck. You can always dance it out during your break. Whew, so left leg is front, right leg's moving. Weight is racked on that right side. Let's get it set up. We start in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lunge it out, let's go. Final round of these. I know people have a love-hate relationship with both of the lower body exercises I chose today, so I apologize if you're here. But these unilateral exercises are gonna make everything you do stronger. It's gonna help your bilateral squats. It's gonna help your deadlifts. It's gonna help you walking up and down the stairs. It's gonna help you with your core work. So the more power and strength we have just by using one side of our body, the better we're gonna function when we have to use both, okay? You have less than 30 seconds to finish out your reps and take your rest. Final round here. The biggest thing I want you to think about for this last round is what we talked about in our warm-up. Our speed, so we're working slow, and keeping it really specific, stable. I'm gonna think of like 10 other S words, okay? So grab your weight and start it up when you're ready. Big inhale back, use that core. Everything comes up together. Think of pressing through that front foot to come up. Once you're done, get yourself set up for your rows. You still got 30 seconds, so take your time. Whew. And again, find those ways to bring yourself back to neutral, back to a nice resting position. It's not gonna be your resting heart rate, but we don't want it up in that cardio zone, okay? 10 seconds. After this, we're just doing a little core finisher. Let's go in 4, 3, 2, and 1. 8 on each side, you got a minute to get it done. You have 25 seconds left. If you're with me, we're gonna take some slow arm circles back, open up that chest. And then we can come forward. All right, give those arms a little shake. We're gonna take a minute here, come back, do our core work, stretch, and call it a day. We have a quick core finisher, 20 seconds on, 20 seconds off, 3 times through. We're doing a little plank rotation. So starting in our plank pose, legs are wide for stability. We're gonna bring right hand to the left shoulder, rotate onto the side, bring it back down and to the floor. To modify this, drop to the knees. I would bring them a little closer so that you can pivot onto your side, okay? 20 seconds and 20 seconds, 3 times through. Let's go for it in 3, 2, and 1. So legs are wide for stability, shoulder tap. Flip onto the sides of your feet, focus up. Bring your hip back to neutral and down, switch sides. You're already halfway through. This is not about reps. This is about control and time. We're out in 3, in 2, and 1. Take your rest, 20 seconds. Roll the wrists out. Whoo, we're gonna do that 2 more times. So gauge how you felt that first round. Do you need to drop to the knees? Do you need knees for maybe just part of the exercise, right? Do what feels best to you. Let's go in 3, in 2, and 1. So let's talk about where we should be feeling this. Obviously, in our core, but as you're in this one side stabilizing shoulder tap, you're gonna feel your inner thighs like crazy, okay? So really be prepared for that and brace. That means I want you to act like someone's gonna come underneath you and punch you in the stomach. We have 2 and 1, rest. Roll the wrists out. 1 more round. So just like we talked about, setting our core before some of our bigger lifts. Same concept here. That's gonna be the foundation of every single movement. So if you haven't found it yet, you got 1 more chance. Let's go for it in 3, in 2, and 1. This is it. Seconds here. Drop those hips in line with the shoulders. It's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Widen those knees. Reach the arms out long. Let's find our child's pose. So let's take a few more cycles of breath here. Really reaching the tailbone back toward your heels. Feeling the stretch under your armpits, through your lats. Really breathing into your ribs, feeling the expansion of those intercostal muscles between each of your ribs. Once you're ready, we'll roll up into our tabletop. And we're gonna come back into some cat-cow just like we started. So resetting the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. Good, carefully find that neutral spine. We're gonna bring the left leg in front, right leg long, finding a nice quick pigeon pose, wiping the sweat off of our face. So we'll sink it forward, let that back leg reach out long, and just breathe. And pressing ourselves up, we'll just switch through to the other side. So right leg forward, left leg back, really square off those hips. And then if you're comfy, you can crawl it forward. And then ground yourself through the hands. Walk those feet back to plank. Press the hips up to downward facing dog. Take a little pedal through the heels, feeling those calves. Really push that tailbone up to the ceiling. Let the head drop heavy. And then once you're ready, walk the hands back to the feet. Take a nice deep bend in the knees. And we can just grab opposite elbows. Take a little sway side to side. And then release the arms. We'll stack the spine one vertebrae at a time till we meet standing. And once you're in that nice tall position, we'll take one final breath. Arms reach up to the ceiling, big inhale. Exhale, pull it down to heart center. Take it with you for the rest of your day and make a little noise. Fantastic work today, guys. Any questions, as always, leave them in the comment box below, and I will see you all in the next one.